So there is a stage called hallucination state of any AI model, especially on the large language models. Now, hallucination is a simple word that it's the exact same meaning when we hallucinate as well as AI hallucinate. There's no difference. So hallucination is simply like, let's say you're going to ask me a very complex question, Federico. I'm thinking, I'm thinking, I'm thinking to answer. I'm answering this in a very simple way so everybody who listens to understand that. So I'm thinking. What does thinking means? It's not hallucination. Sometimes you go into the stage of just like, is this right? Is this no? I'm like all over the place, right? So I'm just trying to figure it out, right? You're in a stage of hallucination, stage of moving your mind all over the place, right? So this is exact what AI is doing from LLM perspective, trying to figure it out. It goes and then thinking. It says, I'm thinking, I'm thinking. So thinking means it's actually in that stage of hallucination. It can narrow it down and bring it back quickly, or it won't be able to narrow it down, come back quickly because it's looking for a vast data sets in the world, if we take OpenAI, and then give you the best solution. Now, in this state, hallucination can got really vivid and then won't be able to provide you the right solution. Everybody probably have experienced that at the start of any of this OpenAI to any other. It couldn't give you exactly what you're looking, but it'll give you something, right? So that's what happens in any large language model until you train them to become more accurate and accurate because more data sets have access to it. Now, localization, right? That means your model only runs within you. That means now your data set is become very small compared to the world wide web of like where you have access to. Say that OpenAI have access to pretty much every single server in the world, for example, right? In localization, you only have access to one server. That means the more you run that local model, it's going to get much more smarter about your data set than than any superior model like OpenAI. Why? Because you're not going to data sets in Europe or Asia or anywhere else. You're only sitting in your company. So now the model is becoming smarter and smarter because it's understanding the data sets very clearly.
Right, right. I mean, it's I don't know if this analogy applies, but I hope it does. But is this idea of there's this concept of ignorance is bliss, where if you have so much knowledge, then you'll have so many ideas and thinking about so many things. But if you have, if you sing The Sixth Day, movie with Schwarzenegger, where they make a clone and they transfer the knowledge, right? That person had at the snapshot of that, but doesn't know anything after that, right? So they can make a great clone of the character. Or there's this other movie where they manufacture soldiers, right? And they tweak the memory where they only know about, they become the perfect killing machine because all they know is, how to become the great soldier. Again, in the movies, it's sci-fi, right? But what I'm trying to go is this idea of if you have a very specific subset of knowledge, then your answers are going to be specific to that, right? Whereas AI is trying to be this generic know-it-all thing where it is more likely to give you the unexpected answer. Maybe it's not wrong, but in the context of a company, I just want the information of the company. I don't want you to think about life and movies and whatnot, right?
Yeah, pretty much you're right there. I would say the word would be localization and narrowing down to single source of data sets. Your model becomes much more accurate. It'll become much far superior than any other models out there.